What's good, everybody? It's your boy 8X. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down how I made over $5,000 on a single trade using two simple but powerful strategies: multiple time frame analysis and candlestick formations. Specifically, I used the candle color reversal pattern in combination with the shooter candle, an insanely profitable combination when applied correctly. Now, if you don't know what the candle color reversal pattern is, I made a video on it and how I use it. Make sure you check out the link below. All right, so let's get right into it. Last week, I entered a Marriott put trade as a swing. Before I dive into the exact setup, I want to talk about an essential skill every trader should master. And this is finding profitable swing trades through multiple time frame analysis. Now, in my opinion, it's extremely difficult, if not impossible, to trade profitably by relying on just one time frame. That's just me. But looking at multiple time frames helps eliminate bias, confirming what's happening across different aggregation periods. And this increases the probability of that trade going in your favor. See, this will allow you to make high probability trades based on confluences rather than guessing. And let me show you exactly what I mean. So here's Marriott at the close of Friday, February 14th. And you can see I have the daily chart, the weekly chart, the 6-day chart, and the 2-week chart open here. The reason why I have these time frames up is because we were going to be getting new daily, new weekly, new 6-day, and new 2-week candles that were going to be opening up on Tuesday, February 18th, since Monday was President's Day and the stock market was closed. Now, these weren't the only time frames that were going to be opening up on Tuesday, February 18th. Well, another time frame that was going to be opening up was the 3-week chart, and you can see that we have a nice shooter candle on the 3-week time frame. Now, let's analyze Marriott across these different time frames because we know that they're going to be opening a new candle on the next day. So if we look at the daily chart, we were full time frame continuity to the downside, and we close as a long bearish candle to the downside. Let's take a look at the 6-day time frame. You can see that we close as a long bearish candle to the downside, and it was an outside candle. Also pair that up with the potential CCRP. I was starting to look for a bearish move. Let's go to the weekly chart. If you look at the weekly, you can see that we have another long bearish candle to the downside and setting up for another CCRP on the weekly time frame. Now let's take a look at the 2-week chart. The 2-week chart, we know that we had a new 2-week candle that was going to be opening up on Tuesday, and we close as a shooter on the previous candle. That should give us an insight to what could possibly happen next. And finally, let's look at the 3-week chart. We also close as a shooter on a 3-week with a new 3-week candle opening up on Tuesday. Now, we know that this shooter signals a potential downside move. And keep in mind, this is the 3-week time frame. So we know that the 3-week and the 2-week has a little bit more magnitude or strength than the daily, 2-day, 3-day, 4-day participants. So this is also in line with the potential downside thesis if you considered the CCRP on the 6-day and the CCRP on the weekly chart, because we know if you trigger the 2 down on the weekly time frame, that triggers the CCRP to the downside. Now, when you look at these time frames, would you say Marriott looks more bullish or looks more bearish? And we're not using any other confluences. We're just using multiple time frame analysis with candlestick formations, simple price action tools. And for me, the answer was clear. I was bearish. And with all these time frames that were opening on Tuesday, if we triggered 2 down, I was going to take the trade. Now, here's a key rule to remember. The time frame your trade thesis is based on is the minimum amount of time you should hold the trade unless it invalidates. If you trade the strat, you know the truth about the strat entries. When a time frame triggers, it has the entire length of that time frame to remain in force or become invalid. So let's say your thesis is based off the potential 3-2 down on the 6-day. At least that was my thesis. If it were to trigger, it can take up to 6 days to reach target or invalidate. And if your thesis is based off the CCRP on the weekly, if it triggers 2 down on the week, it has up to 6 days to remain in force. If you decided to take this trade on the 2-week chart off the 2-week shooter, it has potentially 2 weeks to get to your target or invalidate. Meaning, if you want to be this participant, you got to hold your trade for at least 2 weeks. So let's use the replay tool to see how exactly that played out. Well, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, you can see we got the 3-2 down in force. Now, mind you, this move netted us over 100% in one day. We got the flush that we wanted, re-triggering the weekly, the 2-week, and the 3-week actionable signals. And you can see that's how you can get your 2-2 reversal off the shooter on the 3-week. Now, let me talk about the drawdowns, because remember, it did not go in force immediately. So when it triggered 2 down on the day on Tuesday, we were actually down about 30% on day 1. Next day, we were still down on the play. I think it got to a point where we were maybe down like 40 or 45%. But when we averaged down, we ultimately got the move the 4th day, full time frame continuity to the downside. And sure enough, patience paid off. I hope this breakdown helped you see the power of multiple time frame analysis, candlestick formations, and using confluences to increase the probability of success in your trades. And if you found this valuable and want to see more trade reviews like this, make sure to subscribe. Drop a comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.